360 it around and show all 5 people.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
There's some other people.
5.
And there's me.
Reading loud. All right, thank you. So I call this one our financial future. Let's face it, we stopped listening to our parents' life advice somewhere around middle school. Fast forward to college, adulthood, independence, and we're dropped into a world filled with finances, insurances, taxes, investing, legal, and income decisions. A place where it's really scary to have to learn from my mistakes. We have college advisors and counselors and deans to get us through the university maze. But how do we get prepared for what's next? Beyond asking Siri, where can we go to get unbiased, non-commercialized skill development in things like taxes, sales tax, income tax, estate tax, property tax, real estate tax, capital gains tax, the Obama individual mandate excise tax. That's real. Insurance. Wow. Car insurance, medical insurance, life insurance, death and disability insurance, property insurance, personal liability insurance, income continuation insurance, and then next, credit, which is also huge if you want to make a purchase in your life. Borrowing money, the effects your credit score has in your everyday life, your accrual of interest, co-signing, mortgages, 401k asset reallocation, amortization, negative amortization, and finally law, lawsuits, lawyer fees, contingency fees, victims, scams, wills, tort law, civil court, springing power of attorney, durable power of attorney, marriage and divorce law, inheritance, fault. This is only a small list of things that you'll encounter and you have to learn how to operate, address, and utilize once you leave college. Every one of these very important topics that you may never have heard of will affect you at some point in your life. Wouldn't you like to know about them ahead of time? When they show up, you will certainly be thankful that you had to take a consumer financial planning course in college. I'm going to go into some more detail about why we all should have at least 2 courses in our general education requirements list that will prepare us for the life outside of the respective university walls. Taxes come up everywhere when you don't expect them, and they're always non-negotiable and due immediately, it seems. We are accepting of sales tax from the first time that we bought a pack of gum and understood that tax upon a purchase is to be expected. Then we get a job, and there are many individual taxes that are taken out of our first paycheck beyond income taxes to the IRS. The state gets a cut, some localities get a cut, Social Security, Medicare, and so on. Have you heard of the Obama individual mandate tax? This tax states that starting in 2018, anyone not buying qualifying healthcare insurance when the government decides is what's best for you and your family must pay an extra income tax, surtax. Have you bought a house? Taxes are generated by the schools, public works, police and fire, library, parks. Huge amounts of your paycheck are deducted, and the money is due every year, not just when you purchase it. Did grandma die and leave you some money? That'll get taxed. You started investing for the future. If your money makes money, which it's sort of supposed to, and that was the point, you owe taxes on all the profits. Learning how to minimize the taxes a person has to pay is why many types of accountants exist. So for all accountants, this taxation situation should at least be taught to us. Unfortunately, we may all be accountants. We're left to find out for ourselves. When we get less back than we budgeted for in our paychecks. A little help here? Speaking of insurance, this is a subject that's tremendously murky and difficult to understand for all of its own code words. Your employer on day one, when you're really trying not to look as clueless as you feel, is asking you to select an HDHP with an HSA or a medical plan that costs more but also pays sooner. What, you ask? If I choose a plan I can afford at my starter salary, I have a huge deductible and insurance I pay for with each paycheck that doesn't kick in until I paid $5,000 worth of bills? My car insurance pays if I hit and kill a deer. Would it cost me dearly if I nudge a bumper? If that person in the other car whose bumper I nudged claims they're injured, I better have some more insurance to pay for their new onset neck pain that started 2 days later. Or, I've started my new job, doing great, getting a promotion, bought a new condo, I'm adulting it quite well. And then I get T-boned, can't work for 6 months. How do I pay off my car that isn't sold or isn't repossessed, and my mortgage so I don't lose my house? There's really insurance for that too? My insurance is really costing me a lot of my income. I'll have more money in my 40s to buy life insurance for my new wife and son, right? Interesting fact number 449 that I just made up. Life insurance costs more the older you are when you buy it. It only costs that much a month for a number of years, and then it gets way more expensive as you get older, and the more likely I am to die. That's not fair. Can you really insure against all life's crises? How does an insurance company make that money? Interesting fact number 450 that I made up. Actuarial science, an entire bachelor's level which calculates risk for insurance companies. The insurance companies do just fine, thank you. Wouldn't it be nice if students could learn just enough about how it works so maybe we can keep some of our earnings and understand the risks? Now regarding credit, many of us have student loans, arguably our first meeting with debt. Student loans are debt-light. We get the money, don't have to think about it until we're done with school. The interest rate is set and the payback is long. The government keeps talking about forgiving student debt. Not that scary. But do we realize that the car loan we take out is too long and we wear out the vehicle faster than the loan is paid off? We end up in a situation where the car is worth next to nothing and we still owe thousands on it. Have an accident and the insurance company doesn't pay off your loan, but pays you only what the car was worth? So come up with the money to pay off your loan and then come up with more money to replace your car. Understanding? Your credit score is also a very important part of your future life after college. You should be taught in detail about its significance in your future purchasing power. Do you graduate from college, get a new great-paying job, and you see a car you like? You just got your first credit card under your name. So you can just go to the bank, get an auto loan, and pay for it over time, right? Nope. You won't be happy when you hear the bank say, sorry, it looks like you haven't established a long enough credit history for us to loan you this tiny amount of money, even though it's less than you make a year. If you have good credit, you'll maybe pay a few hundred a month for a car loan. If you haven't established your credit and are still able to secure a loan, you could pay almost 1.5 times as much per month as the person who learned about financial planning when they were in undergrad. In my opinion, learning that skill in college should be more valued in my future than any class I took in underwater basketball. The biggest debt most people will ever have is the mortgage to buy a home. If you were sober in 2008 and 2009, you may have seen how banking situations far removed from you resulted in thousands of people losing their homes and all the money they paid towards it. Debt can be a scary thing. People's ignorance of how debt can backfire is what scam artists have used since the beginning of time to make shady profits for centuries or longer. The digital arena just makes these scams quicker, earlier to fall into, and more efficient for the scammer to disappear with your money and credit legacy. The many precarious situations facing new adults, this one is ideally dark. Universities owe to their student body to present the subject for study. At this time in a young person's life is a core class requirement for graduation. The insurance industry has its own code words. The legal profession has its own language. It's called legalese. It's a language that's used to describe to you, the purchaser, all the terms and conditions of debt, insurance, tax liability that you're seeing to have a pattern here. Are you seeing to have a pattern here? The generation is completely a very trusting generation. Facebook, Airbnb, Uber. Our parents cringe that we share with our strangers on a daily basis. The result being we are naturally trusting that things are as they appear. Everything can be explained fully in the length of text, and people are not out to take advantage of this. If you don't understand something, just Google it. The answers on the first page tell you all you need to know and move on. But legalese is the language recognized by our court system. It is often written in Latin. So when you skim over caveat emptor in a contract, don't know what it means, just sign and date at the bottom. So don't you just agree to? Caveat emptor means let the buyer beware in Latin, meaning that if it immediately breaks or it doesn't do what it says when they sold it to you, you have zero grounds in court to file for charges. Guess what? That kiddie pool you just bought and signed for and had installed in your above-car garage rec room bursts, the ceiling collapses on a new car that you hadn't gotten around to insuring, you're paying for it all by yourself. In conclusion, it only takes a second to find my two scholarly sources, that's already 2009, Financial Literacy Among the Young, and Card 99, The Causal Effect of Education on Earnings. These academic articles discuss the lack of financial knowledge on average of college graduates. Being a few steps ahead of you guys, at age-wise, I've experienced a little more about the life after college than you have been made aware of at this point for academics. I've watched friends squander away all of their inheritances and investment schemes. I've watched a friend from college, a simple fender bender, force them to declare bankruptcy and ruin their chances of being able to buy a house for their family. All because we're trying to save money on car insurance. These are little simple mistakes which could have been avoided had they learned more about personal finance when they were getting their bachelor's. But hey, at least they took 2 semesters of Icelandic Islenska for their foreign language requirement to graduate, right? Thank you guys.
Yeah, no problem.